Alright, we're back building dungeon terrain tiles. So now we need to put a little bit of color in it. So basically, get you some black acrylic, some gray acrylic. And what we're going to do is sort of come up with a color that we like. That's still dark, but not black. Alright. And I just use one of these old sponges right here. Cut a piece off, make a square. That way I can tap it on there. Dry it off a little bit. And then all you're going to do is you're just going to pat it. Remember, don't hold it too tight because of you could squeeze the plaster of Paris, sort of break the shell that we've created. There we go. Just real quick on that. All right, there we go. We got a little bit of a darker gray color in on there. We'll let that dry, and then we'll add another coat. I'll be back. All right, so now we're gonna take the gray and just a tad of black. There we go. And let's paint that like a dirty gray right there. Alrighty, okay, get it off the brush. Alright, dry it out a little bit and do a few touches on there, just like that. All right, let that dry. All right, now let's put a lighter coat on here, which I'm just gonna use some of the gray. And what's sort of left over, that looks pretty good. Okay, get it nice and dry. Do a few hits around. Just lightly, just a couple spots. All right. All right. See, our paint's still wet here a good bit. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add a little bit of white. Add some white. All right. We'll just sort of touch around on it. All right. All right, there we go. Starting to get a couple of different shades of black, gray, light gray, sort of a dark gray. Getting some tone to the rocks here. Starting to stand out a little bit more. All right. All right, there's that. All right. Next step is we're gonna add a really light color. So we're gonna add a lot of white to what we already have here. Okay, now when we do this, we're going to want this to be really dry. And just, yeah, and just sort of pat it on there just a tad. Sort of bring up some highlights and what's sticking out. All right, we'll let this sit and dry really well. All right, here I'm gonna add a little bit of just a few little touches. So I got some acrylic brown. This is coffee bean. Throw a little bit out there. And add some water to it, make it a little less thick. Alrighty. So here I'm just gonna maybe just add a little bit of brown to it. Just lightly brush it in. Just to maybe add where some different rock or maybe some dirt got up in there. Just get a little bit of white. You won't need much. Clean your brush off. And then get the white. Maybe just on a couple of the edges. Maybe just throw some white in there. Just like that. Just sort of trace the edge. Not too much, just sort of like it's just sort of you're highlighting it a little bit. Just highlighting that edge. And it don't take much. It just makes it pop a little bit more. Makes it stand out. And you don't have to do them all. Just one or two little spots. And same here. Now this smaller area, that's usually where I'm gonna put the wall at, since it's not all the squares are there. All right, so there you can see that. And then here. All right. Depending on how big your wall you're standing up is how big toothpicks or these little project wood sticks I got. Shorten it down just a little bit, put a little bit of point to it. So I'm gonna put my wall about right here. I offset it a little bit so it's gonna hang over just so I can maximize the squares. And since it's sharp, it should just pierce right through there. Nice and easy. And push it down. All right, so now you got your side wall on. Now this is just old, those pink and green sponges you can buy, you know, like 3 for $1 or whatever. All this is I put this through a blender and added color, sort of like old moss or something. You can break it up in any way you want, but you can then add a little bit of glue. Get some, maybe just sort of push it off in the corner. Now the same thing, I got these rocks from Dollar Tree. They're just a little bit bigger than what we used before. So, as you can see. So if you want like a pile, sometimes I'll put them along the wall. I still got my little rocks here. And to sort of just fill in between. All right, so now we're just gonna let that dry. All right, we're all done. Let's knock off our loose rock. And there we go. There's our dungeon scene. Now, when you do this, try not to do one at a time because you want all your grays to match. Unless you make a whole bunch and you seal it up and keep it fresh so that when you make all your tiles, they're pretty much all the same color. So just remember to do that. Choose the colors you want and then just make it how you want it. But anyway, thanks for watching. I hope this helped. I hope you're able to make some of your own. And if you like it, hit the like button. Subscribe, and keep updated on other videos I do. I appreciate it. And y'all have a great day.